And I'm talking about the abdominal cavity and the peritoneal lining. So we look at this, I've already shown you a video looking at this in a different simplified form. But here's the big picture item. So that's our abdominal cavity right there. Is it on the screen? Yeah, there we go. So, and here is the liver. That's a copy of a Leonardo da Vinci liver there. And then here is our stomach. And then our transverse colon. And then some small intestine over here for good measure. And so up here's the diaphragm. This is the anterior side. All right, so there's the big picture. So I'm going to come around here. What is this lining the abdominal cavity? Peritoneum, correct. What kind of peritoneum? You've got it, parietal peritoneum, correct. So here I'm drawing some parietal peritoneum. And what happens is we get up here on the undersurface of the diaphragm, and the parietal peritoneum reflects over onto the liver and becomes visceral peritoneum. It's wrapping around, it's tight on the liver, you know, you can barely peel it off. We get to the other side of the liver and we make a double layer. Now let me tell you, that's what this dissection is all about, the double layered peritoneum. There's going to be lots of it and we call it lots of different things. But they are, a double layer of peritoneum can be used to suspend things, as you can see right here. So it comes around the liver, it makes a double layer that goes to the stomach. That double layer right there is called the lesser omentum. Then we come around to the other side of the stomach and we're going to form another double layer. But it's got a trickier path. Now initially what we just had was a double layer going straight to the transverse colon and going around it. But imagine, like, you know, there's the transverse colon and there's the stomach. And when they were born, you know, embryologically, there was a membrane between them, stretched tight. But then as they developed, they grew closer together. So that membrane then dropped with gravity like an apron. And that's what I'm going to draw here. Can you see that if the TC and the stomach were further apart, they would stretch this thing tight? That's what would happen. So similar kind of thing, you know, the double layer comes to this next organ, the transverse colon, and then to the other side makes another double layer. And this one then goes back to the posterior abdominal wall. Then we come back around, continue around, and we come out to the small intestine. Now this could in a sagittal section like this, there are going to be many cross sections of the small intestine. So I'll draw another one here for good measure, but just know there are a lot more than I'm drawing. So it's around the jejunum and the ileum. And then it's got a double layer anchoring it to the wall. And we complete the peritoneum. So there's our peritoneal cavity. Now what are all these things that are suspending these organs, these interperitoneal organs? We've got their ileum and jejunum here, suspended by the mesentery proper. We've got the transverse mesocolon suspended by, we've got the transverse colon suspended by the transverse mesocolon. Between the stomach and the transverse colon, we've got this big apron. Now, this is the greater omentum, by the way. This whole thing is the greater omentum. But let's just look at this technically. Here in this drawing, it's a quadruple layer. It's 4 layers of peritoneum, right? Here's a double layer. Here's a double layer. We put them together, you get a 4 layer. Now, you're never going to see the 4 layers in, you know, your dissection. This is all bound together right here. I just draw it this way so you get an idea of how it's formed. All right, so quadruple layer, greater omentum. Then on the other side of the stomach, between the stomach and the liver, we have the lesser omentum. We go around the liver and attaching it to the diaphragm, we do not have a double layer. What we have are two single layers suspending the liver. And those are collectively the coronary ligament. Now this drawing, we will expand on it at a later date and talk about different compartments. But for right now, I just want you to get these basics down. And the great thing is, when you get one of these basic diagrams down, you learn to expand on it, and it helps you hold all of this knowledge together. I'm sure you sometimes feel like there's a fire hose of anatomical data coming at you. So anything you can learn and be able to express yourself and do by memory helps you organize your information.